Hello ladies and gents. Right, I'm going to tackle an important issue today. I am finding what I think is a lot of green waste on a pasture field here. So we're going to go back to the studio later. I'm going to show you what I found. I'm going to talk about green waste and hopefully we can get Greta involved and get it resolved, because it's going to affect all of us. Anyway, second half decent find. It's not that great, but amongst all the so-called green waste, this little fitting, probably not terribly old, but it's better than aluminium, and IKEA fixings for furniture, bedroom furniture. So that's what we call green waste. But anyway, there you go. Nothing terribly exciting, but thought I'd show you. I mean, look at this, ladies and gents. Look at it. It's just everywhere. Green waste. I mean, this might have fallen off a tractor or something, but being there's so much aluminium and cabinet furniture, not furniture, fixings. Is that deliberate? Maybe not, but anyway. I haven't found anything decent yet. Now, ladies and gents, you may have thought before I start chucking random bits of metal into those vegetables that was either a salad or something you put on the compost heap. Well, green waste is officially biodegradable waste like them vegetables. But a certain proportion of green waste nowadays has been thrown on arable land where we grow our vegetables, we graze our animals for meat, for milk, is being contaminated legally by metal. As you can see, the metal there is what I found out on the field in the clips you just saw. So we're going to take a look at green waste and see how it affects you, and to see how we can prevent it in the future. Right, ladies and gents, so what is green waste in terms of metal detecting green waste on our arable fields and even in pasture? Because obviously pasture, once an arable field is left, it's either seeded or it grows into pasture. So after a field's left, it could have been arable at one point, it could have had green waste mixed in, and then you find it on pasture like I did in my clips you've just seen. So what is green waste? Well, effectively it's crushed and mashed metal, but it can also be things like IKEA furniture fittings, screws, I've even heard of old batteries, strips of aluminium. I mean, this is one of the bits I found in my pasture field in the video clips. It's just a strip of aluminium, basically. So yeah, I mean, it's a terrible situation to be in for the whole of the country, whole of the world if it's happening all over the world. But effectively, it's legalised fly tipping and it's contaminating a lot of our fields. It can only be described as a major national scandal in my eyes. And it's being delivered in farmers' compost, basically. Now, in Britain or in England, UK, I'm not sure which, 1.8 million tonnes of compost is delivered to farmers on a yearly basis. So in amongst that, there is a certain proportion, I don't know how much it is, but there's a certain proportion of the metallic green waste that we're talking about now. Now, the MCMD are aware of the problem and they've basically called it, well, it's called it out and said it's ruining the hobby. Now, if you're going along and you find a lot of bits and pieces of metal that you wouldn't normally find in a general session. Lots of aluminium strips, locks, old batteries, wires, you know, a consistent range of metallic waste, then you've probably got green waste on your field, and it's going to ruin that field unless you're prepared to clear it out over a period of months. It's going to ruin that field for you, so you're going to have to move on to the next field if that hasn't got green waste, because once it's on your farm, there's no telling how far that's been spread. I was actually on a rally or a group dig once in Suffolk, and everyone was detecting this large field, and there was two separate smaller fields, still pretty big, but there was two separate smaller fields, and I ventured to the further one, and I started detecting. I come across this aluminium strip of metal, and then another bit, and then another bit, and as I went on, this aluminium strip was just laying on the top of the soil. It wasn't even buried, most of it, and it was bright, shiny strips of aluminium. And I was pretty new to the metal detecting hobby at the time, and I actually went up to the event organizer and said, I think someone knew that you were going to have a group dig on here, because someone's littered that field with aluminium. I actually said that someone's gone there and just thrown it and spread it to just jeopardize the whole dig, not knowing at the time what metallic green waste was. So that's the worst case I've ever seen. And obviously what I've just shown you in my clips was quite bad in itself, because every 5 footsteps I get a banging signal on that field that I showed you, and probably 45 times out of 50 it's going to be a piece of rubbish like what I've shown you. I mean, look, you've got this, it's a copper wire, you've got fittings. Now don't get me wrong, if you find an odd fitting like this, chances are it's only just off a tractor. That's what I'm saying. If it's consistent and you're finding all sorts of metal, there you go, another bit of aluminium trim, and then there's, well, this is what I mean by the IKEA type of wood fixings. You've probably seen them before, where they screw in the chipboard. But there's loads of this stuff on my field, and I didn't actually set out to make this video on green waste. I actually set out to try and find some more hammered coins, because I had a hammered coin in the proximity of where all this green waste was, and I must have got lucky, because there's probably more there, but because there's so many signals of rubbish, I can only do a couple of hours of clearing it out, which is what I did this time. Now, green waste can obviously include plastic as well, which is non-biodegradable. It's obviously just as harmful to the environment, but you're not going to pick that up with your metal detector. But as a responsible detectorist, we all pick up the cans, we all pick up the plastic, we all pick up the shotgun shells, we all take the rubbish with us. Most of us do anyway. So obviously if you see plastic on a more consistent basis, then again, you're probably going to get metallic waste within that, and you're soon going to pick up that you've got metallic green waste on your land. Now, the Environment Agency have actually accepted metallic green waste, and obviously one thing to remember is that metallic green waste has been licensed. So your farmers will either know or they won't know that they've got metallic green waste mixed in with their compost. So what should you do when you notice that you've got green waste, metallic green waste on your land? Well, number one, even if you don't notice anything on your land, make the farmer or the landowner aware of what metallic green waste is and where it can be found within compost that they may spread on their land. Because I guarantee you, most of your farmers will not want it on their land. So if they know about it, they won't have it. And if they don't know about it, then it's up to us to educate them and notify them that there may potentially be hazardous material within the compost, which is fully licensed, but is absolutely terrible for the environment and for our food source and for our animals. Now, the reason you should do this, and let's be fair, the metal detectorists are probably key to all of this, because who else is going to detect? And when I say detect, I don't mean with a metal detector as such. I mean, who else is going to be able to detect that green waste is on someone's land? You know, unless it's highly visible, like the group dig that I went on that time when I saw the aluminium strip, it's not going to be visible on a lot of occasions. So metal detectorists are going to be key to finding this green waste and raising the alarm. Now, why should you raise the alarm? Well, number one, it's going to stop more fields from being contaminated for metal detecting as a hobby. But more importantly, aluminium is suspected, high levels of aluminium is suspected to be a cause or an aggravation to Alzheimer's. It's also a source of brain and bone disease in young children. And also the animals are affected as well, because a lot of young animals, if their mother has been eating grass with a higher amount of aluminium in, they become a lot less active and slower. So it affects animals and human beings all the same. So like I said, metal detectors have got a key role to play. Raise the alarm if you suspect green waste on your land, but more importantly, raise the education of the landowner and the farmers. I thought I'd make this video. I've had a long day at work, but I thought I'd make this video because I thought it was vitally important that we got this out there, especially when all the politicians just had a big meeting on the World Green Deal, whatever they're coming up with, you know, fossil fuels and all that kind of stuff, reducing carbon footprint, all that. So I thought this was a quite an important video to make, and I hope that you guys and girls will take note and just do your part, because your part is vitally important. Metal detectorists, not only are they very important to the history of England and the UK, but they're also vitally important to the health of everyone living on this island. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed it. Please take action. I'll see you later. Bye for now.